Turn to politics instead. The Foreign Minister of Bangladesh, Dr. Detabe Moni, studied medicine and public health in her own country, the UK and the US, but politics was in her blood. Dr. Moni's father was a politician in Bangladesh, and that, of course, was formed from what was then East Pakistan in 1971. She's one of the best-known women leaders in South Asia. Dr. Detabe Moni, welcome to Rendezvous. And your country is now 40 years old, so congratulations.
Thank you.
It's kind of reached middle age. Something I think that we all have in common here. And your fellow guest, Richard Dawkins.
Hello.
So, Detabe Moni, I mean, obviously you studied medicine. You're sort of a person, a woman of science. But do you find any inherent contradiction in that and also being a practicing Muslim?
I haven't found any conflict in being a person of science. I studied medicine, public health and law, but I don't see any conflicts between all these subjects and my religion. And I think my faith is my personal thing, and I'm comfortable with it. And my religion also asks me to ask questions, to understand the world, the universe, and in my very limited way I try to do that, and so far I haven't found any conflict, and I'm happy with it.
But you know, Bangladesh obviously almost predominantly Muslim country. A lot of people use how women are treated in Muslim countries as a kind of barometer of how advanced a nation is. And what would you say to people when they look at Bangladesh and you see that you are a woman and foreign minister, Sheikh Hasina, the prime minister, is a woman, the leader of the opposition, Khalida Zia, is a woman, and then in Pakistan you obviously had the late Benazir Bhutto and so on. What is it about South Asia that allows women to assume these political roles, and yet when you look at the population at large, women do really still suffer a great deal of discrimination?
Well, if I talk about Bangladesh, in Bangladesh there are problems with women suffering, but it's not more than anywhere else in the world. But what we have is, because of the culture that I talked about, women are seen, whether it's within the domestic area or in the social areas or within the state, women are not seen as, mostly not seen as second-class citizens. Women have a lot of opportunities, but we do have problems. We are, like anywhere else, we are trying to address those. But culturally, I think, because in Buddhism they say that men are carriers of knowledge, but women are carriers of wisdom. And in Hinduism, all the great goddesses, I mean, they are. And in Islam...
So is there that mix of...
Yeah, and in Islam, in Prophet's life, women played a great role. And the first person to convert to Islam was a woman. The first martyr,
Khadija, that was the wife of the Prophet Muhammad. But so you see religion as a force for good on the whole?
In our culture, in our country, that has happened. And mothers are very important in our families, decision makers as well.
See what? So Richard, you hear what Detabe was saying there, that religion needn't necessarily be the destructive force that you say.
The whole basis for the partition of the Indian subcontinent into India and the two halves of Pakistan was religion. There was no other reason. I mean, Bangladesh is part of Bengal, and your natural neighbours would be West Bengal. Yet because of religion, you became part of Pakistan. In the partition of the Indian subcontinent purely over religion, there were the most hideous massacres. You couldn't possibly say that religion has been a force for good in the Indian subcontinent. As for the treatment of women, I'm delighted to hear that things are all right in Bangladesh, but they're certainly not in West Pakistan, where women are...
In Pakistan.
In Pakistan, yes. Where the lot of women is truly terrible in many respects.
Well, in Bangladesh also we have problems, but it's not more than anywhere else in the world. I mean, we have problems, women facing problems, women facing violence every day, even in the developed countries. I mean, whenever we talk about women's empowerment on a global level, we talk about Norway. Still, there are so many domestic violence cases in Norway itself. So, I mean, it's a very difficult issue. Yeah. It's at a personal level, at a societal level. So it's.
But we're just okay. I want to.
But when you talked about partition of India, actually, I believe that it's a misnomer. Bengal was partitioned, and Punjab was partitioned.
Well, okay, so we're going to actually stay with the theme of strong women leaders, because Detabe Moni, I know you've just recently visited Burma, but I want to bring in our next guest because, of course, the Burmese pro-democracy leader Aung San Suu Kyi has very much been in the news these past 12 months, and of course she has said that she's going to be standing for elections in Burma. And there's a new film about her life called The Lady.